This is Kristen, and I'm here with Nevin, strong like bull. How are you this evening?
I'm doing very well. I'm currently sitting down at the shed with my fellow bandmates, and we're about ready to have a little practice session, actually. How are you doing?
Good. Sounds good. So, I know Thomas told me a lot about you guys. Tell me what you've been up to lately.
Oh, well, this summer's been really busy with a whole lot of shows going around here. Right now, we're currently kind of just, this Friday, we're going to have our release for our new video for a good time. That's coming up. And we're currently going to start working on some new material tonight here and hopefully have some fresh stuff coming everyone's way here soon.
Awesome. Yeah, I hear about the new single, Good Time. Talk to me a little bit more about that.
Well, this one's a little bit different than what everybody heard with Live While You Can. This one's got a little bit more of a country-esque rock vibe. We kind of blended the two, but it's good time. Dave, what'd you say the inspiration behind that was? Yeah, it's more of a blues rock track with this one. It's kind of along the lines of like Zeppelin and Sabbath. We've gotten comments and comparisons to that one, and it's got, like I said, it's got a little more of a bluesy country-ish. I want light emphasis on the country part. It's different than what we've been doing, so I think everyone's going to really enjoy this.
Awesome. Now, I saw that you guys were kind of described as rural rock. So, talk to me a little bit about that. Talk to me about some of your musical influences.
Yeah, the whole rural rock thing is kind of just like our stamp on something, you know. That's kind of what we stand for around here is thinking how are we going to define ourselves and like we're just these guys out in the middle of, you know, bumfuck nowhere kicking out some awesome jams. So that's kind of where we just, you know, established this whole rural rock idea from. Now, our influences, everybody's, you know, got their range. There's some different ones out there, but overall, we generally have a good, you know, classic rock kind of influence. That's what a lot of us listened to growing up: AC/DC, Black Sabbath, you know, all the greats. But we kind of, you know, want to bring that sound back, and I guess it's kind of our sound's a little bit more mixed with the '80s touch, you know, hard rock vibe, but that's kind of the direction we're going for with everything and where we came from.
So, now, individually, what were some of your influences, like maybe growing up, that made you decide, hey, I want to be in a band?
Well, I know for myself, um, I've always had like an interest in music. Hell, when I was just, you know, in diapers, my parents would throw on some Thorogood, and I'd just be swinging my butt around in my diaper. You know, as I got older, I started discovering different, you know, genres of music and everything. And it wasn't until about my teen years that I it was Ozzy Osbourne I was listening, and Randy Rhoads, man, really sparked something inside me, and it's man, I got to be able to fucking play like that. That's it right there, and that's kind of just where that drive came from. And you know, along the line or along the way, you start to meet some other people with that same passion. You get together and start jamming out, and you're like, hey, man, this is pretty fun. You know, I could just do this in my free time and as a good you know, way to burn off some steam and all that. And eventually that just kind of grows into an actual thing that's taking up most of your time.
Most definitely. And is that how you guys came together as a band? Kind of educate me on you guys and how you formed as a band.
Yeah, we pretty much all of us we'd either known of or were personal friends with each other when we formed this thing. Me personally, the only guy I wasn't quite familiar with was Jake, but I mean we gelled instantly. I'd known him of him anyways and gone to a few of his shows with his prior band, and they were a kick-ass act. I was pretty psyched to get everything together when I heard the lineup. But what the start of it was is Dave came to me and was like, "Hey, man, putting together this project. Would you like to play this, you know, kind of music here? And you want to play guitar with this stuff?" And it's like, you know what? I got a little bit of free time on my end, so yeah, fuck it, let's do this stuff, man. It's there's a little bit of an open void around here for that style of music, so let's fill the gap. And I think we all just kind of had that common idea with things. And 3 years later, here we are, still kicking it out.
Most definitely. Now, you talked briefly a little while ago about working on some new music. Tell me more about that.
So we're going to go over some new ideas that we've been kicking around tonight. I'm not going to give too many, hints or anything. We're still in the developing stages with some songs. We've got a handful of tunes already recorded, and we're going to go back down to the studio here sometime this fall also and add to that. We've got a handful of other songs that are close, if not already ready to record. So we're going to have a good handful of new material coming sometime throughout this fall, during the winter, maybe into the spring. We're kind of hoping by next year to maybe drop an EP. That's still kind of, an idea that's being tossed around. We don't have a set plan for everything, but we definitely have a lot of new songs coming out. Some of them are going to sound different than others. We're playing around with some different sounds and everything, but we're still maintaining that, hard rock party vibe with everything. So everyone can expect plenty more of that to come.
Absolutely. So, speaking of the party vibe, what shows should we know about that you guys are playing or events that are coming up?
Oh, I don't think we have too many big ones. We just finished a really good one a couple weeks back. We were opening up for Shaman's Harvest over at a biker rally near Kansas City, and that was our last big event I think we had planned for the summer. We've got a few odds and ends just to keep us kind of something on the books while we're going. We've got a couple local bars we're going to go play at, see some friends, and do that whole thing. And we might branch out to maybe Kansas City or Wichita and play a few shows. But as this fall progresses, we're kind of going to want to try to wind down just a little bit and concentrate more on writing and getting some more material ready. So we don't have anything too big scheduled as of yet.
So the focus is definitely getting the new material out, possibly working on ramping up to release an EP. What else should we know about that you guys might be working on?
There has been talk of maybe a tour at some time. We're, still tossing that idea around if we can find something fitting for us to get lined up with. Let's see here. The tour, we've got the new songs that we're working on that hopefully will be coming out throughout the rest of this year into next. And so far, that's about all we've got going as of now. We're still waiting to hear for any new ideas and stuff to get tossed our way for opening up for bands or any acts coming through or big plans. So
for people listening to the interview, where can they find you guys on social media, or do you have website links? What would you like to share with us as far as how to find you?
So our biggest social media page, I guess, would be on Facebook, and it's just straightforward Strong Like Bull, and you'll find us on there. We post tons of stuff all the time, great content coming. We're on Instagram. I believe we got a Twitter account, and if people want to find our music, you can find us on YouTube. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, and I believe before long we should be getting onto Pandora as well. That one's still being talked about. So, but those are the major platforms everyone can find our content at.
Awesome. Most definitely have to make sure we share that out there for everybody. Find you guys, check you out, and see what you'll be releasing as far as music, shows, and everything else that you have going on. Is there anything else that I didn't talk with you about tonight, or anything else that you wanted to share with us?
Oh, I can't think too much more. That pretty much covered a good basis of things. Like I said, we're currently in the developing stages for new songs and content, so I can't really go into too much since nothing's really set in stone right now. But like you said, if everybody would just go on out there, find us somewhere, follow us, give us a like, share some of our stuff, tell us what you think about our material. We would really appreciate the feedback. And, just, I guess to all our fans, party on.
Most definitely. Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you guys this evening, and you have a kick-ass band practice.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you having me on your show here.
Yes, thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
You do the same.